Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary O'Connor with the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. On behalf of Alaska Public Media, thank you for watching Hangar Flying. This evening, we are pleased to have Mr. Michael Page on the show. Michael is the winner of the 2016 Ellen Paniak Memorial Scholarship, which was given by the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation. Welcome to the program, Mike.
Nice to be here.
You're currently working on a degree in aviation technology, but you actually had a career in aviation before you started your coursework at UAA. I'd like to say thank you for your service and ask you to tell us about what you've been doing.
Absolutely. I've been interested in aviation since I was about 3 years old. But for the past almost 10 years, I've worked active duty and with the Air National Guard up here in Alaska as a air transportation journeyman, basically loading and unloading all of our cargo aircraft and dealing with all of our passengers and anything like that on board that. I've served all over the world, been stationed in Germany, Korea, and of course here, but done numerous deployments as well.
Wow. So an air transportation journeyman, would that be similar to a civilian loadmaster?
That's exactly basically what it is. Like I said, you're in charge of calculating weight and balance for the aircraft, doing up all the documentation, the releases for the cargo and passengers if it's required, and making sure that everything is properly secured on board the aircraft before flight.
Okay. And you mentioned that you have been interested in aviation since you were a little tyke.
Yes.
How did you know that you wanted to be in the military and work in aviation?
I'll admit, I've always known since probably I was at least 5 or 6 that aviation is where I wanted to be. My dad was always real big into aviation and all that.
Okay.
Always bring me up to the airports, but schooling's always been a challenge. So I knew that the military and my love for the country was where I wanted to go. So why not mix the two and go into the Air Force?
Oh, that's great. So then, working as a load master, if I can call it that.
Absolutely.
What types of aircraft did you work on?
Anything that we could carry passengers or cargo on. The Air Force has the big C-5 Galaxy. Dealt with that on a daily basis. The C-17s that we have here at Elmendorf constantly, and our C-130s. Also our tanker aircraft, our KC-135s and our KC-10s, all the way down to our tiny little C-12s, the King Airs. So everything.
Is any one type of aircraft more challenging to work with and to load or figure out a load?
It depends on what's going on. The big airplanes, the C-17 and C-5, are a little bit more friendly for the larger cargo, of course. Mm-hmm. But it can be a little bit more challenging due to the limitations of the airplane. So it really depends on what you're putting on the airplane. Personally, if we're moving tanks and everything like that, C-5 is the way to go, as long as we can get it airborne. She's a little picky, maintenance-wise, but depending on what the mission is, they can be a challenge, or they can be straightforward and easy to load.
Okay. Well, currently you are working with the National Guard as a crew chief on the Pavehawk. Do you prefer working with fixed or rotor wing? This is a completely different job.
It is. I'm considered to have gone to the dark side. Is the way that my brothers that are still in the air trans world look, but when it comes down to it, they still fly. I still love both of them. It's a little bit more challenging as a helo, and we're hanging up there by a Jesus nut, but there's good and bad to both. It depends. Everything in aviation is about the mission. It depends on what you want to do.
So this job itself is a bit more challenging or more exciting?
It's definitely more exciting. Up here we get to do all the a lot of rescues and everything like that. And the nice thing is that it's a year-round mission that never stops for us. Where active duty, I could have a lot of downtime and everything. This, I don't know what I could be doing from day to day when I put the uniform on and go over there.
Oh, sure. So that would make it more challenging, not knowing exactly what to expect.
It can be. And where when I was active duty, you knew what mission you were going to do, and you stuck to that mission set. Where up here, we can be flying a training mission and then get a radio call, and we've been diverted directly into an active search and rescue or medevac or something like that.
And you mentioned that you've been called out on those already.
Yes. Yep. Well, this past weekend, my brothers and sisters and I, we went down to a mountain marathon and pulled a snowboarder off.
Great.
So
Well, thank you again for your service. It's been wonderful having you here.
it's been a pleasure. Appreciate it, ma'am.
We'll look forward to having you back.
I'll be here for you.
Thank you for watching Hangar Flying, and thank you to the donors that donate to the scholarships for the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation. You allow us to provide opportunities for the upcoming aviation professionals like Michael Page. Until next time, fly safely.